All right, day 3 of my daily vlog, and I am at LIU campus here in Brookville, Long Island, so college here. I'm actually going to something called Ham Radio University. It's something that they do once a year, and it's like an all-day, it's all classes all day about ham radio. Stuff that you can't really learn on YouTube, and you can ask questions, and there's like kind of like panels going on in 3 or 4 different like auditoriums throughout the day, and then there's like a swap meet, people selling radios and parts, and they usually got food and a few booths set up with vendors and stuff like that. I went last year, had a really good time. I learned a lot of stuff about microcontrollers and stuff that I was kind of hazy on, so I'm kind of excited. I just realized it was today, last night. I got an email from them, and I was like, oh, I would like to go to that. So I'm up here. I was on my way here. I was watching Maddie's vlog, and I see him and Box were mobbing yesterday, grabbing all sorts of equipment. I watched Box's vlog. He's got like background music. He's got cut scenes. He's got all sorts of multimedia. Killing me. He's got microphones. So I ordered myself a microphone. I got some mounts coming in the mail from Amazon. We're gonna get this going, and we'll see. These guys think they're gonna beat me here. We're gonna. I don't know. I'm still like, I'm not a video editor. I don't make, those two go around making video for the brand all the time. It's all they do. So I'm a little. I'm playing catch up here. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna Google some stuff. We'll figure out how. I got CapCut on my phone. I got Descript. I got all these programs I don't know how to use. So I'm pretty much gonna, try and make every single one of these better, and we'll see how it goes. I'm still like you're not really getting me here. You're only getting. I feel very serious, and I'm not really a very serious person to begin with. So I'm trying to just get comfortable with the camera. I'm trying to get comfortable just, sitting here talking to I'm in like a parking lot talking to my camera. Meanwhile, this whole campus didn't say which building it was in, but whenever you go to a amateur radio event, you just look for the parking lot with all the antennas on the cars. I'll show you. Some of them are really, mine also has an antenna, but some of them are really over the top. So I'll show you a little bit of that. We'll go in here. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see what classes we want to take today. And that's the only thing I have planned for today. I also have to get some furniture for my apartment because I'm like sitting on the floor still. So maybe I'll get a chance to do some of that. But it's Saturday. Let's have a good time. I'm going to head in there and see what it looks like. All right, I'm just taking a little lunch break. We did 3 classes. Did a class on 6-meter propagation and test equipment. So we'll talk about it a little bit after. I'm gonna go see what's going on down with the clubs, and we'll catch up with you after the event's over. just heading home from Ham Radio University. I ended up getting about, what did I do? I think I did 5 classes. I got, my first class was about test equipment and, what you should have to work on radio stuff and how a lot of that equipment works and the benefits of having analog equipment versus digital equipment and kind of stuff like that. The guy who taught that was an electrical engineer. He really knew his stuff. So I was able to ask a lot of questions about some different meters and stuff that I have that don't seem to work the way I think they should work, and most likely I've been reading them wrong. Then I took a class on 6-meter propagation, which is talking about tropospheric ducting and sporadic E in the E region of the atmosphere, events that allow you to get further distance. Talking about the sunspot cycle. We're in sunspot cycle 25 right now. We're about to hit the peak, we're hoping, by the end of this year, and that should open up some long distance propagation on some of the higher bands. So that's exciting. That's something that hasn't happened in a long time. We've been kind of in a lull with the sun cycle, so like now is the time to be back into the radio, whereas in the 50s and 60s it was very easy to get out and talk to the whole world, and the sunspot cycle just hasn't supported that since then, and it's like kind of on an upswing, and these cycles run about 10 years each, so you don't want to I don't really want to miss that. I just came out of a class for talking about Raspberry Pis in ham radio and how to use Raspberry Pis for different types of projects and different ways you can use the Pi to integrate it into different projects, how to use it for tracking satellites, how to use it for tracking planes in the sky above you. We're using it actually as the basis for a radio of itself, in itself. A couple other different projects. Really interesting class. I took the class from that same guy last year or 2 years ago when I went to this event, and he's got some new update. Obviously, they've updated the hardware since then. And then also a class on satellites altogether. One of the guys from AMSAT was there talking about amateur radio satellites that are in the air now, how to access them on a budget setup, how to set up, what type of equipment you need, how you can do it with cheaper handheld radios instead of like a base station. There were a couple of guys in that class that have built this little ESP32 based box, little microcontroller based box that takes all that information in from different places on the internet and will control a rotor on your roof for your antennas, and also will control your radio to make sure that the Doppler shift, when you're contacting satellites, they're moving at 17,000 miles an hour, so you have to kind of fix for Doppler as you talk on it. You have to adjust your radio as it goes past you, kind of like how when you hear a horn go past you, it changes pitch. So they have a little box that handles the Doppler shift. It handles the rotation and the elevation of your antenna turning on the roof, and allows you to kind of it does all the work for you, so you can kind of just focus on operating the radio and talking to people in space. So that's interesting. They had a lot of information about the International Space Station. So really interesting day out. I ate lunch with a 93-year-old ham. I think I was the youngest guy at the whole event, which is always nice. And I've been doing these events for like 3 or 4 years, so I'm starting to recognize people. And I sat down and had lunch with a couple of the guys, and they really know that some of these guys know stuff that is just gonna, you can't even look it up. You can't even look the information up. A lot of that information is going to be lost one day, and I'm trying to kind of tap into as much of that as possible. Especially I'm into vintage radios and old technology like tube radios and valves, and there's not a lot of people out there, especially that you can interact with in real life, that even know about this stuff. So I was able to pick some guys' brains about some antique equipment that I picked up not too long ago. And yeah, overall, I had a really good Saturday morning, afternoon. I'm going to go home now and pretty much relax. I got to, do some things around the apartment, and I'm just probably going to call the vlog here. I've had enough. But I feel like I'm getting a little more comfortable here. I'm really enjoying myself, and it'll be fun to look back and see this next year that I got out to this particular event, and we'll see what other events we make it to this year. All right, we'll talk to you soon. If you want to keep up with me every day, you can subscribe here, and you can also check out my brother and Box's vlogs and see what they've been doing today. I'll link them in the description.